Terra Lana's drop-in floor insulation is a cost-effective, sustainable alternative to polystyrene insulation for timber frame floor construction. The insulation is installed after the floor framing and before the sheet flooring, and is supported in a patented strapping system and is allowed to be exposed to the elements during installation as well as to water seepage through the sheet flooring joins before the structure is enclosed. Terra Lana's drop-in floor insulation is high-performing, brands appraised, and is designed to exceed the New Zealand Building Code requirements. Drop-in floor comes in 70mm and 110mm thicknesses. As standard, the product comes in widths suitable for 400, 450 and 600mm joist spacings, and it is critical to get the right one. Check for regular blocking, as it may be worth ordering the product in a custom length other than 1200mm to avoid excess cutting and offcuts. Strapping is set out 150 from the ring joist. So a little tip here is I've set up a string line at 100mm past to the ring joist, because my stapler is going to run along here. So the centre of the stapler back to the ring joist is 150. Another wee tip is I've quickly just marked out my 300 centres. So the strapping is 150 from any blocking or the ring joist, and then every 300 thereafter. So I've marked it 300, then 300 again. I've set the dispensing reel, just saves me moving it continuously as I work my way down the platform. Because I'm right-handed, I'm going to be working this way and work my way back towards the dispenser. The next thing we need to do is we need to set the pusher bar on the bottom here, and what this pusher bar does is adjustable, and it sets the depth of the blue plastic strapping down into past the joists, and this forms the cradle on which the insulation is going to sit. We're using the 110mm product today, and the plastic strapping is actually going to form a cradle 100mm below the top of the joists. So I'm going to start by just stapling that into there. If I measure 200mm past the end of that joist there and mark that, and then I can bring that back to that point there, I can staple down into there. So now I know my cradle is set perfectly at 100mm depth. To set the depth of the bar is there's a little locking device in the back here, so I'm going to loosen that off so this can slide up and down. And I'm going to push it into position, and then just adjust the pusher bar to its correct position. And then I'm going to tighten up the locking from the back. And just to get this out of the way, you can pull it up and rotate it to get it into the correct position. Perfect set depth. This is a 19mm plastic strapping. So I'm going to make a wee loop, and I'm going to feed it into this little doofer down here. And as I do that, I'm then going to twist that knob. Now that's held in there where it won't fall out. Keep stapler vertical and ensure the trailing strapping is running over the pusher bar and not to one side. Use the left hand to take tension off the infeed strapping. Move the stapler into the joist horizontally. Press the stapler down onto the joist and tap up and down twice to help the pusher bar set the depth of strapping. Hold the stapler square and fire the stapler. The technique comes with a little practice. Try to keep the stapler soft in the hand and you'll soon fall into a rhythm. You should be able to strap out 200 square metres of floor per hour. 1,000 metres of roll of strapping should cover about 200 square metres of floor space. When I get to the end of the run, cut off the plastic strapping, move the string line, grab the packaging tape, then I'll head back down to the other end. You may come up with an obstacle in between the bearers. In this case here we've got the timber pile that stops the trailing bar of the stapler recessing far enough down. We've got these clips that come with the stapler. That's got the 110 on there for the 110mm product. We place the first one over there, and then I've used a bent one on this side here, and I simply just pull the strapping, pull it down until it's at the right depth, and then using my hand stapler, just staple in there. And that is now set down 100mm, which is where it needs to be set to. Righto, this is the cutting clamp for cutting the insulation. And you want to set yourself up with plenty of room for the saw to be able to cut through. First thing you need to do is we need to take out the guide, which also doubles up as the handle, and to do that you open up these pins here. And you want to rotate those pins the whole way around, 180 degrees, and the cutting guide comes out. You'll need to run a wee compressor on site. You really want to get one which is adjustable here, and you want to dial down to sort of 2 to 3 bar. Just going to connect the air hose, and then it's just a simple operation up and down. Just going to use a Barco insulation saw, and you can just see it's got this wavy blade on the bottom here. So it's quite handy to have a Barco sharpener. Graduated rule here. And a guide that's going to keep it nice and square. And I'm going to move to the position that I want the insulation cut, and I simply just close the clamp, and then that's holding it nice and tight. I can simply put the saw right through, and you can see it's cut through beautifully straight, no problems at all. Each segment should be pushed down into the strapping cradle and then spread up to the top of the joists. Don't get too worried about a little creasing, as the insulation has been designed to continue to expand so that it presses flat against the sheet flooring. It may take a couple of weeks for this to happen. Care should be taken to get a tight fit against framing. Each slab of insulation should be made to butt join evenly to the next. At the far end rim joist or at blocking, cut the insulation to fit. The insulation should be 5 mm oversized for the gap.